Hello, 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 ladies and gentlemen, once again. We are back with another live stream. Now, this one's going to be a bit shorter than the last. I'm also going to turn this music down ever so slightly because it's a little bit annoying. Hello to whoever's joined. I hope that my connection is okay because it's telling me that it's not. And anyone else who joins in the next few minutes, please leave a comment and let me know if my signal, if my Wi-Fi is actually tolerable. Please do let me know. I really want to know before we get into it. So paper 2 for A-level maths is tomorrow, whether you do Edexcel or AQA or OCR or whatever else. Paper 2 is tomorrow. So guys, if you're just joining, leave a comment. Please let me know, is everything okay? Like, technically, is my sound okay? Is the sound okay? Is the connection okay? Am I lagging? I hope I'm not. Please do let me know because it's telling me that I have some questionable signal right now. It says the connection is unstable. Oh dear. So obviously we need to take all of that into consideration. So I'm only going to go until 5 o'clock today. So we're just going to do a 45-minute one. And that is simply because I've actually got some tutoring to get done. Hello, everyone joining. Please leave a comment in the chat to let me know if the sound or all of that technical stuff is okay. And we're going to get started nice and quick today. Okay, nice and quick. So I'm just listening back to the live stream on my phone to make sure that the sound quality is nice and good. Give me 1 second. There's a little delay. Okay, it sounds good. It sounds good. So hello everyone. Hello. Guys, leave a comment. Let me know how you are. How are you feeling about the exam tomorrow if you're doing A-level maths? I believe there's also a GCSE maths exam at some point. I don't know if it's tomorrow or it's really soon or if it's just happened, but I think the last GCSE exam is also coming up. So technically, if you do need any help with that, then of course you can still just ask. But welcome everybody. We're going to start very soon. We're only going to go until 5 o'clock today. Only until 5 o'clock. I know I'm moving into a new house. As you can see, the background is different to the last one. I've moved into a new house. It's been very hectic. I just had a new sofa delivered today. So it's all going a little bit crazy. But that's the situation, guys. So I want to know how everyone is doing. I want to make sure everyone's okay. I'm also going to leave a cheeky little, if I can figure out how to do it. There is a way, ladies and gentlemen, to do a poll. I think I can figure it out. Let's have a look. Can I figure out how to do a poll? I'm sure I can. Excuse me. I've got a really bad hay fever, guys. I get it every summer. It's always during exam season. It's the worst. All right, I'm going to leave a little poll. I want you guys to answer it. Okay, we're doing a poll right now. It won't have come through yet. I need to make it. I want to know, how is everyone feeling about the exam tomorrow? If I can create the poll, that is. Because that is a big if. That is a big if. And I'm going to get started any minute. Details. Oh, I made a poll last time. How have I managed that? How have I managed to create a poll? Or did I do it on here? On the desktop? Ah, found it. Excuse me. Okay, I'm going to start a poll. I want to know how everyone's feeling about the exam. I'm just going to type this in, okay? So I'm going to go radio silent for 1 second while I type it in because I'm one-handed right now. I'm going to make the poll. Okay, the poll has just been created. I want everyone to vote. Let me know how confident you are. How confident are you? If you are here, please leave a delectable little comment in the chat so I can see who you are, any familiar faces from last time, any new faces. Leave a comment, say hello, or whatever language you speak. Hopefully it's English, otherwise this might not be too good for you. Check out the French version of Inexorable videos if you speak French. That's not real. If you speak English, say hello in the chat so I know who's here. You can have your comment appear on the video by saying hello. Otherwise, we are going to get started. And I'm going to go through basically whatever I want. It's not too good for me to predict, per se, what could be on each paper because all of the exam boards are different and different things come up. So, for instance, with EdXL, I believe there's been no partial fractions. And circles, there's been no circles for EdXL either. Or maybe that's it. But they're not the same. Each paper has different content for different exam boards. Parametric equations. I don't believe they've come up. So we're going to go through a bit of modular stuff to begin with, and then we're going to see what happens. Delicious water. Big water. Love it. Got a new, I would say it's mathematical. I got a mathematical t-shirt today. I love a math shirt. I love a little meme shirt. A little meme, and not too serious of a shirt, but let me just show you. Do you guys see that? Look at that. If you can't see it, that is a capybara with the golden ratio. You can probably hear all the rummaging. That's random bits of plastic from all the unloading that I've been doing. Okay, guys, we're going to go straight in now. If you've just joined, the A-level maths paper is tomorrow, and we're doing a live stream. It's just going to be a short one today. And I'm just going to get started because last time I took quite a while to get into a question because I wanted to see how everyone was and all that good stuff. Not that I don't care how you guys are. But I'm just going to get started and we're going to see what happens. So let's go through this question. The point P, which is -2 minus 5, lies on the curve with equation y equals f of x, where x is a real number. Find the point to which P is mapped when the curve with equation y equals f of x is transformed to the curve with equation y equals f of x plus 2. So all we're going to do for this one, guys, is we're going to realize what that transformation actually is. So this transformation, by adding 2, this is a vertical shift by 2. So shift upwards by 2. Okay. So the point is -2 minus 5. If that is going to move up by 2, then we're going to end up getting the new point is -2 minus 3 because it's moved up by 2. Hopefully that makes sense for the first one. Okay. What's next? And by the way, if you want to follow along, I'm just going to check what paper this is. Because this is a past paper. This is a paper 1. We're only going to do pure today, guys. Because, for example, AQA, if you do AQA, you will know that the AQA paper 2 also has mechanics on it. But other exam boards are just pure. So we're just going to do pure today. Just to, make it as good as possible. And then I think my plan is to probably, for the one before the third paper, I would probably prioritize statistics because that would be in common with everyone. Everyone would have statistics on their third paper as far as I'm aware. Okay. So what paper is this? It's Edexcel, but guys, don't worry too much about what exam board it is. Obviously, it matters a little bit, but not terribly. And it's 2022. It's June 2022. Now, I actually heard that the Edexcel paper one was very similar to paper one from 2022. So it's a bit out there of a prediction, but if you do Edexcel night before the exam, maybe a cool little thing to do would be to check out paper 2 from Edexcel 2022. It's only an idea. Maybe that's too predictable. I don't know. But please do, guys, say hello if you are here. Say hello if you are here. I'd love to know how you are. I want to know what the poll is saying as well. Can I check that out? Let's have a look at what the poll is saying. No one has voted on the poll just yet, so please do vote on the poll. Okay, let's continue with this question. What about the point -2, -5? That's for f of x, when we're now looking at the point, the absolute value of f of x. Okay, interesting. So guys, remember that the absolute value or the modulus function of another function simply takes the y coordinate if it's negative and makes it positive. So the answer for this one is that we're going to have the same x coordinate because it doesn't change the x coordinates, but it's going to make the -5 become a +5. So -2, is going to be the answer for that one. Okay, and then finally, what happens when we've got 3 times f of x minus 2 plus 2? Interesting. Interesting. So what do we think? Well, we're going to do f of x minus 2. That's the first thing that we do. F of x minus 2. What is that? Well, that's a shift to the right by 2. So that means that this isn't the final answer, but f of x minus 2 is going to shift us to the right by 2. So we're going to have 0 minus 5. Then 3, the 3 out here is actually multiplying the y coordinate by 3. So that's then going to take the point 0 minus 5 to become the point 0 minus 15. And then the plus 2 is going to shift everything up by 2. So that's going to take us to 0 minus 13. Okay. So, and that would be the final answer, 0 minus 13. So this one here is the answer. Cool. Hopefully that makes sense to everyone. Please do leave a comment if you are here. I would love to know if there's any particular topics you'd like me to go through or anything of that nature. And of course, we certainly can do it. But please, please, please do show up and represent. Tell me how it's going. I'm obviously wishing everyone the best of luck for tomorrow. Whatever example that you do. Okay. What else have we got? Maybe let's go on to the next question. Although I think they're all in a weird order, so yeah. I'm kind of just doing them randomly here. Let's have a crack at this one. And guys, please let me know about the music. Like, is the music kind of annoying or is it chill? I don't really know. I think I'm going to mix up the genre. Let's go with some lo-fi for a second. I wish these songs were longer so they don't just keep, you know, looping over and over and over and over again. Okay, this is question 6. So figure 1 shows a sketch of a curve C with equation y equals f of x, where f of x is a cubic expression in x. The curve passes through the origin. It has a maximum turning point at 2, 8, and it has a minimum turning point at 6, 0. Write down the set of values for which the derivative of f of x is negative, is less than 0. So, guys, if anyone is here, please do let me know in the comments. What do you think? What do you think would be the answer? I would love to know. I'm also really happy because I just realized that the StreamYard, I'm using StreamYard right now to stream. And even though I paid for their premium subscription or whatever it's called, in the first one, they literally still put their weird little logo in the corner, but this time it's gone. So I'm quite happy about that. But please do let me know if you think you have the answer to this. I'd love to know. Please do just say if you think that you have the answer, because guys, this is free tutoring. And because there's basically no one else here, you've got one-on-one tutoring right now. So please, please speak up. Tell me what you think. Okay. And hello, warm welcome to whoever has joined. I'm obviously wishing you the best of luck with your exam. So I'm going to tell you what the answer to this one is. The derivative is the gradient function. It's the function that describes what the gradient is doing for any given x coordinate. So just by looking at the graph, where is the derivative negative? Where is, in other words, the gradient of the graph negative? Well, we can see that the gradient when x is 2 is 0, and also the gradient when x is 6 is 0, and anywhere in between that it's negative because it's going down. The tangent line is has a negative gradient. So the answer is when x is bigger than -2 but less than 6, and that's going to be the answer for that one. Does that make sense to everyone? Hopefully. Okay, right, moving on. The line with equation y equals k, where k is a constant, intersects C at only one point. Find the set of values of k. Giving your answer in set notation. That's interesting. So guys, the line y equals k is a perfectly horizontal line. And we can see that for some values of k, we're not going to get only one intersection. For example, that's supposed to be a horizontal line. But if this is k, and it looks like it's between 0 and 2, or between 0 and 8, sorry, it looks like we're going to have 3 intersections, which we don't want. So that's not it. If we make k be equal to 8, that's also not good because that goes through this line twice, this curve twice, so it's not good. So really, we need k to be a number bigger than 8. So k must be larger than 8. Or k must be less than 0. Hopefully that makes sense. And so we need to leave our answer in set notation as well. And so there's lots of ways to write something like this in set notation. But I would say write it like this. So k is a real number such that k is greater than 8, close curly bracket. It must be this, or, so union, it must be a real number such that it's less than 0. And I've just written on the don't write in it area, but I'm a bit of a rebel, so that's fine. Okay. Someone says under 0 and above 8. You're absolutely right. Okay. Yeah, well done. And hopefully you see now, how do I say your name? Manti van Rentergem. Tell me how to pronounce your name, my friend, but you're absolutely correct. And hopefully it makes sense why it's written this way in set notation as well. Okay, I hope that it makes sense how I've written that. There are several ways of writing something in set notation. Normally the set notation only constitutes 1 mark though, so it's not really too big of a deal. Don't get me wrong, it's still important. 1 mark is 1 mark at the end of the day. It could be the distinction between you going to university and not. or going to your firm and not, or whatever you're doing, whether it be university or an apprenticeship or whatever, just getting the grade, 1 mark is a big deal. Obviously, it goes without saying. But also, A-level maths is out of 300 marks. So it's a third of 1%. So if you don't know how to do stuff in set notation, don't worry. I always used to really personally struggle with that. But that's just me. So I'm just checking my connection on my own live stream, just on my phone, to make sure that it's not cutting out, because it says that I've got a very bad signal. Okay, guys, let's move on. Hopefully everyone who's following this is following it well and it all makes sense. Please do just stop me if you've got any questions. Get some free tutoring right now. Okay, so finally, find the equation of C. You may leave your answer in factorized form. Okay, lovely. So this one is actually not going to be too bad. So we know that one of the factors is just x because it goes through the origin. So we're going to have y equals, we know we're just going to have a lone x. We also know that we're going to have an x minus 6 because it goes through 6. But this is going to be squared because we know it's a double root, because double roots turn around like this. If it was a single root and it was just x minus 6, then it would go straight through the axis. But double roots turn around. So that's why we know that it's going to be that. And the question is, are we definitely done? Like, is that just the answer? Anyone, please chime in if you think that you know. Is that the answer? X times x minus 6 squared? Or is there something else that we should check or do before we conclude that that's our final answer? Please do let me know. I'll give you just a second there. Excuse me. So that's enough thinking time. We're not necessarily done, because there could be, of course, some sort of constant on the outside here. We know that this is a cubic. I mean, they do literally say it's a cubic, and this gives us the cubic stuff. So there's not another factor. There's not another linear factor that is a function of x. We do, however, have to be careful because there could be a constant there. So what we need to do, this is how I would do it at least, is I would say, well, it needs to go through, for example, the point 28. So I'm going to say, well, actually, y is going to be ax times x minus 6 squared, because that's the most general way of writing it. And I'm just going to find the value of a such that this graph goes through the point 28, and that's going to make it unique. Okay. So how do we do that? Well, we just plug the coordinates in. So 8 equals, this is going to be 2a times 2 minus 6, that's going to be minus 4 squared. So 8 is equal to 2, and minus 4 squared is 16, so 32a. So hopefully it makes sense to say that a is actually just equal to 8 over 32, or a quarter. And forgive me, guys, anyone that knows me knows I just do my working out all over the place. In a real exam, of course, it would be much more ordered. The final answer would be the equation of C is y equals a quarter x times x minus 6 squared. Okay, and that is going to satisfy it. And if you're in a real exam, you say you forgot the ax. Oh, well, again, don't know how to pronounce your name, but I didn't forget it. It's right there. But very good spot that you have to do it. Okay, so right, that's that. Hopefully everyone is pretty happy with that, if you're following. Okay, cool. And that's that. Again, this is 2022. This is the 2022 paper. Again, I am taking suggestions. If anyone has a particular topic that you want me to go through, I will happily do it. We went through this question in the last live stream. Feel free to check that one out if you want. This is a really interesting question, question 9. So I am taking suggestions, guys. If you want me to go through literally any topic at all, just say, and I will go through it right now. Please do just let me know. If not, I'm just going to do random questions from this paper. So let's do question 7 until we get a suggestion. So let's have a read of this. Given that P and Q are integers such that PQ is even, use algebra to prove by contradiction that at least one of P or Q is even. Do you have any questions about complex numbers? Well, we can do a question on complex numbers if you want, but there's no complex numbers in A-level maths. So I mean, I'll take the suggestion because no one else has actually asked anything. So I'll happily take the suggestion. But again, don't know how to pronounce your name. Manti Van Rentegem. I'm not sure how to pronounce it. Please do let me know how to pronounce it. We can do a question on complex numbers if you want. I'm guessing that you do further maths. But I don't know when I'm assuming that both core pure papers have already been done by now. So unless you do further pure 2 or something, I'm not sure. So yeah, please do fill me in on why you want to do complex numbers questions, but technically I'm happy to, but you'll have to be a bit more specific on what like subtopic of that. Obviously complex numbers is quite a broad topic, of course. Anyway, let's look at this question for now. So again, given that P and Q are integers such that PQ is even, use algebra to prove by contradiction that at least one of P and Q is even. So they're asking us to prove this by contradiction. So the setup of proof by contradiction is always the same. I'm going to write this in text because it's probably easier. So I'm going to say, assume that, and what will the assumption be? So given that P and Q are integers such that PQ is even, at least one of P or Q is even. So we're going to assume that there are two integers, P and Q, such that PQ is even, but neither P nor Q is even. That's the assumption, okay? So make sure that you're really happy that that is the assumption, okay? Because we've been given P and Q are integers such that PQ is even. Proved by contradiction, at least one of P or Q is even. So the opposite to this is there are two integers P and Q such that PQ is still even, but neither P nor Q are even. That's kind of the opposite statement. So that's why that is what it is. Okay, so hopefully as an assumption, that makes sense. You obviously could also say, assume that there are two integers P and Q such that PQ is even, but you could say both P and Q are odd. It's the same sentence, but you could say that as well. So let's actually do that. So P and Q are both odd. So that means that I'll say, let P equal, let's say 2A plus 1, where A is we could have just an integer would be fine. And let Q equal maybe 2B plus 1, where B is an integer as well. Hopefully that makes sense. Again, as a setup, hopefully that makes sense. And we just want to multiply these guys together. So PQ is equal to 2A plus 1 times 2B plus 1, which is equal to 4AB plus 2A plus 2B plus 1. And we can see that this is actually always odd because we can factor a 2 out of the first few terms. So what I've currently written here, this is obviously overall, this is an this is an even number, but of course we still have that plus 1 on the end, which forces this whole result to be odd. So this is clearly an odd number, regardless of what A and B actually are. So regardless of what P and Q actually are, and as long as P and Q are both odd. And so I won't write all of it out, but that basically implies a contradiction, because we said there are two numbers, or there are two integers P and Q such that PQ is even, but actually it's a contradiction because PQ actually ends up being odd. That's a contradiction. Therefore, the error is in the assumption that this is even possible. Therefore, at least one of P and Q actually do have to be even. Hopefully that makes sense. Okay, the second part of this is like completely separate, it looks like. So, oh, let me zoom in. I've zoomed me out a little bit there. So, given that x and y are integers such that x is negative and x plus y squared is less than 9x squared plus y squared, show that y is greater than 4x. So this is not a proof by contradiction question. This looks like it's a pretty direct proof, actually. Yeah, let's have a little look at this. I'm going to make my pen a bit thinner so I can draw a bit closer to it, and we are going to go straight into this. So let's start with this. So if I just expand this out here, I've got x squared plus 2xy plus y squared is less than 9x squared plus y squared. That's basically what they've literally just told us. So just cancelling some stuff out, the y squareds cancel out, and the x squared and the 9x squared cancel out. That becomes an 8x squared. So we actually do see that 2xy is less than 8x squared, which means that xy is less than 4x squared. Now, this is probably the step where people would then basically mess it up. So we're trying to show that y is bigger than 4x. At the moment, we have xy is less than 4x squared. So it actually appears that we're really on the right track, but there's an x on both sides where it shouldn't be. And also the inequality is the wrong way around. So what's going on? Well, we know that x is a negative number because they actually just told us in the question x is a negative number. So and it's not 0, it is a negative number. So we really can divide both sides by x with no issue at all. But when you divide or multiply by a negative number, you probably do know that it's going to flip the inequality sign. And again, what you would do in an exam is you would be very clear and probably write something down to explain why you have done this. Don't just go from here to here like how I've done. You need to explain what I just said out loud in the exam to the examiner to make sure that you're on the same page as them. Okay. Hopefully that makes sense. Okay. So again, I am taking suggestions, so please do let me know if there's any specific topics that you would like me to go through before the A-level maths paper 2. If no one wants to suggest anything, of course that's okay. But it does mean I'm going to choose my own question. Because I like choosing my own questions. I'm a big fan of that. Manti says, is this a UK system? Yeah, this is A levels. So, you may be American or something like that. This is A-level maths. So this is the qualification that you do when you are 16 to 18 years old, typically. I don't know what you'd compare it to in the American system. It's kind of a mixture of, it's a mixture of obviously algebra, trigonometry, calculus. It's got a lot of stuff from Calculus 1, if you've done that. There's a little bit of Calculus 2, but not a lot, and there's basically no Calculus 3. There's also A-level further maths, which does have a bit more Calculus 2-esque stuff. And then again, you've got all the algebra stuff. It's got calculus. It's got a bit of everything, to be honest with you. It doesn't have any abstract algebra and that kind of, it doesn't have much discrete mathematics, but that's to be expected. That's, I guess, is quite, high level kind of stuff. Anyway, so that's that. Now, guys, again, I am taking suggestions. If you would like me to go through any content from A-level maths before your A-level maths exam that is tomorrow, send me a cheeky little message in the comments and I am going to go through that. I'm ending the stream in 10 minutes because I've got tutoring to get to. I do private tutoring, but I'm not advertising myself. I don't need you guys. Only pulling your leg. Only pulling your leg. If you are interested in private tutoring, I think there's a link in my YouTube channel heading where my links are and stuff. But guys, you're getting free tutoring right now. Who needs? You don't need me. You don't need me to do private tutoring. You're getting free tutoring right now. If you actually utilize it, if you manifest it, if you take it to its largest, to its greatest benefit. I don't know. I'm yapping, guys. Right, we're going on to the next question. Again, I'm choosing the topic because no one's leaving any comments. Are there any questions about like functions with sine and cos? Yeah, of course there are. Would you like to do that? Find a trigonometry question for us to go through right now. Here we go. What about this one? So let's go through this trigonometry question. Manti, I don't know if this is the kind of thing that you're talking about, but this is a typical A-level maths trigonometry question. So given that 2 sine x minus 60 is equal to cos of x minus 30, show that tan x is 3 root 3. So does anyone have any ideas? I'm talking to everyone watching this right now. Does anyone have any ideas how we might do this? I would love to know, guys. I would love to know your opinions on how we would do this. Okay. Is there anything that we could do or use to answer this very specific question? Again, I would absolutely love to know if anyone has any ideas on this. It's not the easiest question in the world, so don't worry. Don't worry if you don't know. I'm just going to give you guys a second to think about it. This is just part A if you've just joined, going through some A-level maths before paper 2, which is tomorrow. Anyone? Sine formula with like sine x cos 60 minus cos x sine 60. Yes. Man, you're absolutely right. So that's called either the compound angle formulae or the addition formulae. Depends. They have different names. But you're absolutely right. So we're going to do that with both sine and cos. So here we've got 2 times, and actually if you do A-level maths, you'll know that this is in your formula booklet. So we've got 2 sine x cos 60 minus 2 cos x sine 60, and that is equal to, and we're going to do the same thing with cos. Now the one for cos is going to be cos x cos 30, and this one actually has a plus here for the minus there, so plus sine x sine 60. Okay. Now we need to know our trig identities. You actually do get given a calculator. Well, you are allowed to take in your own calculator, as everyone knows, for further maths, for A-level maths and for further maths. And so, guys, does anyone know what is? I mean, you have a calculator, but let's just do it for fun. What is cos of 60 degrees? What is sine of 60 degrees? What are they? What are they? What are they? Oh, and I've just realized I've made one small mistake. The eagle-eyed viewers will realize that this last angle here, 60, this is actually supposed to be, of course, 30. Just in line with the formula. So apologies for that. So I'm looking for sine and cos of 30 and 60 degrees. Okay, so we've got 2 sine x. Cos of 60 is actually 1/2, so times a half, minus 2 cos x, 2 cos x, and sine of 60 is root 3 over 2. And this is equal to cos x, again, well, cos 30 is root 3 over 2. And we've got sine x, and sine 30 is 1/2. Okay, the 2 and the 1/2 cancel out. The 2 and the 2 down there cancel out. And so we end up getting sine x minus root 3 cos x equals root 3 over 2 cos x plus 1/2 sine x, if I can just squeeze that in. Sorry if that's not very legible there. Okay, and we can just rearrange this. I'd probably times everything by 2 just to keep everything as nice as possible. So 2 sine x minus 2 root 3 cos x equals root 3 cos x plus sine x. Just doubling everything. Hopefully that makes sense for you guys. And then we can rearrange. So let's take sine x away from both sides. So sine x, and then let's add 2 root 3 cos x to both sides. So 3 root 3 cos x. And we're looking good. The final step is to just simply divide both sides by sine to get that tan x is equal to 3 root 3. So guys, please do let me know if that makes sense to you guys, if you're happy with that, and we can move on. Just want to make sure that that made sense to everyone. Don't want to just, move on without everyone being happy. Please do let me know if there's anything you want me to elaborate on as far as that goes. But if not, then I can happily move on. What do you guys think? Is everyone happy with that? Is everyone good with that? If so, then we'll just finish up with this last bit here. And we'll call it a day because I do have to get going in a second. Hence or otherwise solve for theta between 0 and 180 degrees. 2 sine 2 theta equals cos 2 theta plus 30 degrees. So first of all, let's just notice something. We've kind of replaced the x with 2 theta plus 60. So we could kind of say that x is 2 theta plus 60. Going from the question in part A to part B, if that makes sense, guys. Okay. Now, with that said, we can then kind of, the way I think I would do it is I would transform the equation back in terms of x and then solve it. So, I would do this actually. I would solve it now. I'd find the x value. So I go, well, x is inverse tan of 3 root 3. And I'm going to have to grab a calculator, I think, because it says to 1 decimal place. That's a bit of a red flag for me. It's lucky because I just went back to my old house because I think I told you guys at the beginning of the live stream. I am moving house, hence why I started so late. I originally wanted to start at like noon or quite soon after, but unfortunately I'm moving house and it's just it's been a bit crazy and hectic and all that stuff. Nothing serious, just losing track of time and all that stuff. Had a sofa arrive, just went back to the old house to grab some stuff, and I noticed, oh, I haven't brought my calculator with me, and so I do have it on me. I've just got to find it. It's somewhere in the depths of this suitcase. I've got a big tiger thing here. I'll show you guys. I call this guy Moby. Let me show you guys Moby. There's Moby. Look at him. He's very majestic. He's a great little beast. He's a great little, I don't know what. Tigers? Manti is not messing around. He's just given me the number 1.4. Manti, I need to catch up to you. I need to get back on your wavelength. I need to lock in. He says 1.4. Manti. What's his name? Oh, Helix. Hello. The tiger. This guy's called Moby, like Moby Dick. He's called Moby. But my girlfriend keeps calling him Moses, as in the guy that was from the Bible. But I like Moby. Guys, can we do anyone in here, please tell me Moby or Moses? What are you getting? What are you getting? Moby or Moses? I think Moby. But yeah. Actually, he has a longer name that I used to call him, but I've kind of forgotten it now. I think I called him I think his surname was Wise. Moby. Yeah, thank you. Thank you. I appreciate that. Yeah, I think I was I called him Moby Wise. Moby Wise, like wise, like intelligent was his surname. And then he had he had a really long surname. I think it was like Moby Wise. There was like a Stevenage, St. Pancras. I think I called him, yeah. Are you guys getting like Moby Wise, Stevenage, St. Pancras Jr.? Yeah, because that's kind of what I'm getting. That's what I'm getting from him. So let's look in this suitcase and find a calculator. There it is. There it is. Hello, sir. Please tackle more proof by contradiction. Oh, I'm so sorry. I'm so sorry. I am about to leave this live stream. But guys, listen. Before the third paper, I'm going to be back and I'm going to do a longer one. Okay. But I am going to leave in a second. I'm just going to finish this question here. So in degrees, guys, we need to do inverse tan of 3 root 3. Inverse tan of 3 root 3 is going to give us 79.1. So x is 79.10660535. Okay, and then another value of x, or any more values of x that would satisfy this, because it's tan, you can just keep adding 180 degrees to your answers. So another value would be 259.1066054. Okay, and remember, we're going to turn this back into theta by taking 60 off it and then dividing it by 2 to get the theta values. So another one, I think I might add one more round of 180 just to make sure I've got enough. 439.1066066 excuse me, and that should be enough because the next value would be negative. So yeah, that's good. Okay, so again, what we need to do to get theta is we need to do x, all of these x's, take away 60 and then divide them by 2. So the values of theta, just by doing that, the first one is going to be 79.106600535 minus 60 divided by 2. So the first value of theta is 9.5533. Okay, then we've got 259.1066054 minus 60 divided by 2. So the next value of theta is 99.5533. And there may be another one. The next one is going to be 439.1066054 minus 60 divided by 2, and actually we're out of the interval because I get 189 for that, which is too high. Mansi, I appreciate you. Thank you very much. Good luck with your exam tomorrow if you've got one. So these are the only two answers because, again, if we use x equals 439, the theta value that corresponds to it, using x equals 2 theta plus 60, is too big. It's 189.5, bigger than 180. So we don't want that. So there are only two answers. My final answers, because they ask for it to one decimal place, I'm going to have 9.6 degrees. And I'm also going to have that theta is 99.6 degrees. And I'm just going to check the mark scheme for that one because sometimes these are a little bit fiddly. I want to make sure that I'm not basically telling lies. This is question number 14. Question number 14. Let's go and check it out. Just make sure that I've got that right. Question number 14. Yep, 9.6, 99.6. Yep, that's it. So guys, I really, really highly appreciate you guys joining. I do have to get to a tutoring lesson. But good luck with everyone's paper 2. I really, really, really appreciate that. Everyone joining. To the gentleman named R, paper 3. Okay. We're going to do a longer one for paper 3. I want to do at least 3 hours. 3 hours for paper 3. So before your A-level maths paper 3, the day before, I will be here once again to save your exams. But guys, obviously, you know, that was half a joke. I'm sure you guys can do it without me, but I'll be here to help you guys out, get some free tutoring and all that stuff. Thank you guys so much for watching. As always, I highly appreciate it. Thank you for joining. Thank you for involving yourselves. And obviously, good luck with all of your paper 2s tomorrow. Okay. Thank you guys so much. And I'm going to start the outro now. And it's super weird. Like, it's so strange. So I don't really exactly know how it works. So just bear with me while I try and disappear. Okay. As always, thank you guys so much for watching and participating. I'll see you next.